team and you want to fight, well, it looks like I got a team and we'd love a fight.
Welcome to the Pin Down, the Sports Illustrated Pro Wrestling Show. Kent Brown here with Gene Chery, and we're going to jump right in. We got to see the farewell Raw for John Cena on Monday night at Madison Square Garden. And Gene, I'm just going to throw the question right out there. Was it the best Raw of the year, or was it one of the best Raws of all time?
I think the answer is yes to both counts, man. I think we witnessed one of, if not the greatest Monday Night Raw ever. From the start, they kicked it off with a bang. The show had so many surprises. I can't remember the last time I've seen so many surprises in one episode. Everyone gave their all for John Cena on this night. He opened the show. You had Dom come out. All of a sudden, you've got Sheamus, Rey Mysterio. They're doing the 15 knuckle shuffle. It was just a sick night overall, man. Unforgettable. John Cena deserves it. And yes, this may have been the greatest Raw of all time.
And like you mentioned, we got to have Rey Mysterio, Dolph Ziggler back after Matt Cardona showed up a few days ago, Zack Ryder on SmackDown. And then you even throw, I mean, we're going to get to the rest of this, but the way the show ended was crazy. And the way it began, not to mention John Cena adds another date. We're there on Monday night and you're saying, wait a second, he can't fight at War Games. He only has one more appearance. Well, not quite, because Dom Mysterio, the heel turn saying, I'm not going to fight you tonight, but I will fight you in my hometown of San Diego. And John Cena, of course, as a company man, goes, you mean November 29th, Survivor Series War Games? Let's do it. Intercontinental Championship on the line. But it was great to see Sheamus and Rey Mysterio against the Judgment Day. As you mentioned, the 15 knuckle shuffle, all three of them doing signature moves throughout. And again, John Cena opens the show. And then to close the show now, let's just transition right into it.
Well, before we move on, we got to talk about Dolph Ziggler making his appearance. And come on now. This was one of the biggest surprises. I didn't see this coming. It was so nice to see Ziggler. I'm curious what your thoughts were on his match with Solo Sikoa.
Well, the TNA partnership's great because we're able to get certain guys that have an identity on one company, but are allowed to kind of show up as a one-off for the WWE. It was great. I mean, he sold the Samoan Spike about as well as you can possibly sell it. If you're going to rate all-time Mount Rushmore of selling moves, I think it's Shawn Michaels. I think it's Dolph Ziggler. And then I don't even know who's 3 and 4. Bret Hart probably is in the mix. And then I guess maybe you would go with Chris Jericho or somebody like that. But Dolph Ziggler sold that as if he knew, this is my one time back on this WWE roster for the foreseeable future. I'm going to give it my all. And it was awesome seeing Dolph back. And again, he's one of the best in-ring performers of all time. So for him to be in this last time is now tournament and make that statement, it was great.
I agree. I just wish you would have won it. To be honest, I feel like the fans would have erupted. Granted, you would have been, hurting Solo Sikoa in that moment, but I felt like it was Dolph's night, man. It felt like if you weren't going to let Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona win on SmackDown, at least let Dolph. Let's get one of these guys who have a history with John Cena. Let's just see what happens in this moment in time. We're never going to get moments like this again where you've got a guy 20 years in the game and you're seeing a farewell tour. Let's make some special moments happen. I was very upset that he didn't win that match because I'm like, that would have been really cool. Solo's got a bright future ahead of him. Let Dolph get the win. Let's see what goes on. But overall, it was great seeing the man back in the ring. He looked great. I hope this wasn't a one-off, and we get to see him more in the future.
Yeah, then Gunther comes back as well. His first match in months. He gets his statement win too. So just top to bottom, it was outstanding. And I guess before we transition to our second count, Dom and Cena is now set. It's at Survivor Series War Games in San Diego, Petco Park. Does John Cena give the title back, or does he win it, have his last pay-per-view match as a champion, and then more than likely lose his final match on December 13th? By adding this match, it does give him the possibility of one more signature win, more than likely before his last match.
I think Dom's getting that belt back. I don't think you put Dom in 3 of Cena's last 4 matches if he's not going to get a win at some point. He lost the title against him. We just saw him lose a 6-man tag match. I think third time's a charm, and Dom is going to get that win over John Cena and officially, or more unofficially, get the torch, kind of get passed to him, because a win over John Cena, at that moment in time is going to put Dom on a whole nother stratosphere. I don't know if you saw, but the man was on ESPN. They're putting this man everywhere that they can, and I think there's a reason for that. And speaking of ESPN, that's where we're going to see this PLE, man. It's going to be on ESPN. I think Dom, this is going to be his crowning moment. It's going to be the biggest moment of his career, and who better to put him over than the GOAT, John Cena.
Yeah, I love that he's on ESPN talking about what type of deadbeat dad hits his kid like this.
Go for this, man.
He is so good. It's so good seeing this version of him. And then also, Cena, you can tell, wanted to really work with him, wanted to make this one of his final signature moments of his career, is working with Dominic Mysterio, who he's known his entire life. So it must be pretty cool for those two to have these moments. Let's transition into our second count and discuss the match that is now officially set. We knew we were going to see fireworks at Madison Square Garden on Monday night, and it did not disappoint. CM Punk comes out. All of a sudden, he's a beatdown guy. The Vision's taking him out. Drew McIntyre added temporarily. The mercenary Logan Paul. And then, of course, Bronson and Braun. And then here comes the reinforcements for Punk. You have Cody Rhodes. You have the Usos. But that's only 4v4. We need 5v5. Brock Lesnar comes out, aligns with Paul Heyman and the Vision. And then that leaves the tribal chief himself, Roman Reigns, to come back, make a statement. But it was great to see him and CM Punk face off. And he pretty much said, "You're not going to stab me in the back." And Roman looked at him right in the face and said, "If I'm stabbing you, I'm doing it in front of you, right in your chest. You'll see it coming." There is no love loss on that team, but it's now set 5v5, and I can't wait to see it.
I don't know how I feel about it as far as Roman Reigns and CM Punk, man. We saw them last year. They teased Roman Reigns. Like, they teamed up last year at War Games, and we saw them face off at WrestleMania. Now it kind of feels a little bit like they're just rehashing the same storyline between these two. They clearly don't like each other, but for some reason, they end up on the same team. I'm trying to figure out how or why that makes sense. But I'm excited for the matchup. It should make sense. If I was booking this match, I would have tried to find a way to put John Cena into this matchup. Imagine you've got John Cena with Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk. To me, that's the all-star lineup that would have been the War Games matchup. But it is what it is. I'm excited for the match. I just wish it was booked a little differently. But that's just me nitpicking at this point.
And also remember, the last time Roman was in a match, he lost to Bronson Reed. And what did he say after the match? He looked at Jimmy and Jay and said, "I don't want you guys around here anymore. I want to do this. I'm tired of this." And now they're part of his team too. So really, it's kind of wild to think that Cody is probably the most kind of in line with Roman storyline at the moment. Meanwhile, they main evented multiple WrestleManias and there's zero love lost there. So it's setting up to really give Roman Reigns a chance to build his storyline as we head towards WrestleMania season, Royal Rumble season. And that's what you want to see. And the Vision's the favorite. Let's be real. Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, Brock Lesnar, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker. They're the heavy favorite to win this match. And you have to think that they're probably going to come out on top.
You think? No. I don't know, man. Like, you look at the faces on this one.
But because of the turmoil. Because at some point you might get Punk to knock out Reigns, or Reigns to knock out Jey Uso, or Jey Uso to get mad, and next thing you know, him and Jimmy are going at it. The other team is aligned because of Paul Heyman, and maybe they fall apart, but there's really, as we said, there's no alignment on the team that's led by CM Punk and Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns.
Yeah, no, there's a lot. It's going to be very interesting. I think you're right. I think we're going to see a couple accidents in that matchup, and that should lead onto the road to WrestleMania. I'm very curious how they book these guys, because there are a lot of heavy hitters, and the road to WrestleMania is going to hit us in a few weeks. We're going to, right after War Games is. Oh, sorry.
You're basically, as soon as Cena's last match happens.
My bad. Sorry, okay. My bad.
Go ahead.
I agree. I think we're going to see a bunch of accidents into this matchup. It should be exciting. I'm very curious how you book all these heavy hitters leading into WrestleMania. There are so many variables, man, and I have no idea what's going to happen.
It should be great, and it's coming up. It's basically like a week from now, we're going to be previewing it, because it's Thanksgiving weekend. So it's on the 29th. It is vastly approaching. And as you mentioned, after the farewell for John Cena, December 13th, it truly is the road to WrestleMania as it turns the page the day after that. Let's now close with a pretty cool story, one that I don't think we saw coming going into Monday night. Maxxine Dupri steals a win from Becky Lynch and wins the Intercontinental Championship as AJ Lee's music hit. AJ does her trot down to the ring. Becky's confused. Next thing you know, Dupri leaves as the champ. That was just all types of craziness, excitement. The crowd popped. And Becky Lynch, I think it's a perfect role for her because when she's the angry, bitter Becky Lynch, it's almost better than if she's just that one who holds the title and just rubs it in. So I like the direction they're going with that. And it clearly surprised everybody.
Yeah, no, shout out to Maxxine Dupri. That was probably one of my favorite moments of that night was seeing her hold that title with the fireworks behind. You see, she's gone through a lot. Like the wrestling community hasn't always been kind of Maxxine Dupri, but she's clearly shown in the year of 2025, she belongs in the WWE. I think her and Becky had crazy chemistry in the ring. I thought Becky Lynch got the absolute best version of Maxxine Dupri, and that's why she's the champion. I don't think she's holding that title unless the company believes she is someone who they think can carry that torch. As for Becky Lynch and AJ Lee, I know you saw when Rhea Ripley brought AJ to the side. I think that's pointing to her joining that potential War Games matchup, which would only lead to Becky Lynch joining the other side. And I think that sets us up for an incredible women's War Games matchup.
Yeah, and it's good that AJ Lee wasn't a one-off. We weren't too sure WrestlePalooza if it was just going to be a one-off, and that was kind of it. It's good to have her back. It's good to have her involved. And it's pretty evident that she's not going anywhere. Probably not going to be a week-to-week thing the way a lot of wrestlers are. But if she's there for signature events, maybe 8 to 10 times a year, it's smart. She's a great draw, and it just adds more intrigue. And also for these women's secondary championships, we're really starting to see right now that's probably the top storyline going in the women's division. And it's not a world championship. It's a secondary IC, which we had never really seen up until now. So we love the direction it's going. Monday's show was fantastic. War Games is coming up, and that's going to do it here for Gene Chery and Kent Brown. You've been watching The Pin Down, the Sports Illustrated Pro Wrestling Show.